Welcome to the last goddamn show. That's right. Yeah. First of all, let's explain what the name of the show is. The name of the show is The Ugly Damn Truth. Yeah. Me and my brother here, Corey, came up with the idea of, pretty much, to talk about issues that go on with relationships with African Americans, brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? Just a lot of shit that nobody really talk about. It's kind of taboo. You know what I mean? And we decided, hey, why not talk about it? We went through a lot of experiences, so why not talk about it? You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Corey?
Well, today's topic, we're going to actually be discussing
forgiveness.
Forgiveness. What it really means to actually let things go and to forgive someone who might have hurt you or wronged you at one point in time in life. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're going to be discussing and, getting feedback on, in regards to forgiveness.
And my beautiful queen, Kia, is in the house. I see you, baby. Love you. She's like, hey, guys. Yeah. So, like my brother was saying, forgiveness. It's very difficult, especially in relationships, for people to forgive. I know personally for myself, I did a lot of fucked up shit. You know what I mean? To be straight up blunt. A lot of different relationships. Did a lot of things I shouldn't have done. And I hurt a lot of people with those actions. You know what I mean? And I've also been hurt too. A lot. And it took a while for me to cope with being hurt and how to forgive. That process was very long. And especially to understand where that pain came from. A lot of us don't understand where it comes from. What's going on, Rob? Yeah, brother. So it took a long time for me to process that pain of forgiveness. You know what I mean? So forgiveness to me is pretty much the ability to let go the wrongdoings or the wrong actions of someone else. You can never forgive it, or not forgive, but forget
it.
You can't forgive or forget any event that happened in your life. So go. How you see forgiveness, man?
Well, I see forgiveness as letting go somebody who actually wronged you, and given the opportunity. Sometimes you gotta get a better understanding where they're coming from to understand how to go about forgiving that particular person. So I just feel like forgiveness is something more so for yourself than the other person.
Right.
That gives you an opportunity to heal, gives you an opportunity to, move forward in your life, get an opportunity to grow as a person, get an opportunity to, show somebody that, hey, you know what, you're letting this whole situation go. And, hey, Uncle Wayne, I see my aunt Audra on there too as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm giving shots out to everybody. But those are my little, things as far as forgiving, about forgiveness. So, I just feel like as a person, we need to, learn to forgive and let things go, because sometimes when we don't give that opportunity to forgive, we kind of hinder ourselves as far as growing, giving that opportunity to, spiritually move forward in your life and, growing as a person. So that's my take on forgiveness. And that's my take on, how to take the first step and, letting that stuff go. Because all we're doing once we, let it consume us, we're building animosity towards that particular person. And we're building, something kind of some bad vibes, like when we don't allow, that healing to grow within inside of us. It's not doing anything but continuing to hinder us from, true growth as a person.
I say that. I agree with you. I see the biggest problem with forgiveness is it's a twofold situation. Because on one hand, you have your ego, right? which is the driving force for a lot of us. I look at a lot of things that we deal with on the esoteric level, on the spiritual level. So the ego, like I said, is two different folds. You got the spiritual self, the true self, and you got the ego. And a lot of times the ego is the thing or the entity that's stopping you from forgiving others. You know what I mean? Because you build up all these different,
emotions.
Not just even emotions. It's like,
you build up a wall or something.
Yeah, because the ego is being fed from all these different angles, from social media, from your parents, from your culture, and it comes to this big brick wall of, okay, I'm a tough guy or I'm a tough woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it affects people, or when it comes to forgiving. You know what I mean? So first, you have to realize, okay, is it really me? That's holding on to this pain. You know what I mean? Or is it the ego that's saying I'm a tough guy or I'm a tough woman in any situation? You know what I mean? Which sometimes take a little deep diving to find out who you are as a person. But the ego itself is a big demon. You know what I mean? In my opinion, it's one of the biggest problems because in a relationship, the first thing you do, especially if your woman think, like for instance, you got in plenty of arguments with your woman, just like I have, right? Mm-hmm. You was wrong in certain situations, not every time.
Yeah.
But it's difficult for you to admit that you're wrong because you have this persona, like, I don't want to think I'm
weak as a man, or weak as a woman, or whatever. I want him to run all over me. I don't want her to run all over me.
But truthfully, is that the ego or the self? That's the ego talking. The true self is like, that's where all your morals and
your values,
how you really, really feel is there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And most people, when they really think about it, they know they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But the ego say,
nah, even though I'm wrong, don't admit that.
Don't you admit that you're wrong?
Because once you admit it,
that's it.
It's a wrap, because he or she will run all over you.
That's the ego talking.
That's the ego talking. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put my defense mechanism up, and I will not, go ahead and admit my faults. Give an opportunity to forgive that particular person, because you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just allow my ego to take over. Basically, I'm gonna allow my bad side to take over, my manhood to take over that situation and go from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like I was saying, the ego to me is one of the most deadliest entities that we have to tame in order to truly forgive.
Hey, Auntie Julia, how you doing? So when my uncle said, when you forgive others, it's like opening a jail cell and letting the prisoner out. That definitely makes...
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's definitely... I agree with
that. Actually, because they see me on that.
Hey, can y'all see us?
Hey, do everyone see me and Corey on here?
But like we were saying, basically, it's an opportunity for yourself when you forgive somebody. It's an opportunity to be a better version of yourself, because it always takes a real person, a bigger person, to actually forgive somebody. It actually takes the bigger person to forgive, because like I said earlier, once you forgive that person, you're letting that person go. Basically, you're giving that self to yourself to move forward and be a positive, like to heal within yourself. It basically releases, from what I understand, when you forgive. When you forgive, basically, it's good for your health. It's good for your mental state of mind, all the way around. Because when you're continuing to forgive people, you give an opportunity to, release a lot of different stress, a lot of different things, as far as, you can have a heart attack because you're stressing about that stuff.
Well, because you think about it. emotions is what? Energy, emotion. So anytime someone don't forgive an event that ever happened to them, all they're doing is blocking their flow. You know what I mean? And what
you're blocking your blessings.
But I'm not, which is your blessings, because your health and everything else is your blessings. But I'm speaking in terms which, yes, you're blocking your blessings. When you don't forgive, you're blocking your energy flow. You know definitely are blocking. So what can happen is illnesses can come on, depression can come on,
anxiety.
You know? And a lot of times when people don't forgive, they don't even really know it. They got this energy backed up in them, and they got back pains happening, headaches happening, not realizing that a lot of that comes with because you have so much energy that's been blocked. And one of them could be forgiveness. You know what I mean? That's causing certain things to trigger in your life, you know? And that's hard to get over. You know what I mean? Because, you know, forgiveness is a big deal. But I think a lot of people don't look at, you know, trauma events that happen in their life, because, you know, what it really is like events that take place that cause a negative emotional response. Yeah. And you don't have an opportunity to process it correctly. And in turn, it causes emotional trauma. You know what I mean? So that's what's happening in a lot of situations when it comes to forgiveness. Like, I know you've had situations where you might have done something wrong, right? Yeah. To your woman or friend. Yeah. But certain things trigger your woman to go right back to that same place again. Yeah. And she relives that same emotion all over again. Yeah. But she told you, I forgave you. But it's not true. Yeah. Well, a lot that's of that people, emotional trauma that they still have, and they still haven't released it, because soon as something triggered, could be something that you didn't even expect.
But the funny thing is, a lot of people don't even realize that they truly don't forgive people. Because if you forgave somebody,
I agree with you. They're narcissistic. Yep.
Yeah. If you've forgiven somebody, you allow it to, you accept that, and you don't throw it back up in the next person's face continuously. Well, if somebody's giving you an apology, somebody's giving you the opportunity to continue to forgive, you don't just continue to throw that same situation continuously in that particular person's face. You don't continue to, you know, articulate on that whole situation and just, you know, poke the bear and continue to poke the bear, because what's going to happen is you never really let it go. But you done told that person, hey, I've forgiven you, but you really haven't forgiven them if you continuing to throw it up in their face. And it can be something that happened 5 years ago. Yeah. But every time you get in a disagreement about something, that's the only thing that particular person just throw up in your face.
Preacher.
Mr. Glover, a preacher.
Yeah, Mr. Glover. What's going on with you, brother? I agree with you too, man. You know what I mean? It seems like what the problem is, people haven't really learned how to process that emotional event that happened to them to cause them now to not forgive someone. You know what I mean? And every single time, you don't even know what it is that can cause the trigger to happen. I know in my last relationship I was in, you know, of course we all done something wrong, but it can be the smallest thing, like you thinking of we drinking this wine glass. You know what I mean? You not knowing that something in that particular action has now triggered something that happened 5-6 years ago, of something that had nothing to do with the wine glass.
Don't have anything to do with you.
No. And next thing boom, they
mad.
They're spazzing out because they have not truly processed that negative emotional event that took place. You know what I mean? And I think that's where you have to start at. Let's find out how to process it.
Gotcha.
How do you look at it? How do you, you know, because we know it has to do with the negative event that took place.
Yeah.
So what do you do to help forgive? What do you think?
Well, I think you either pray, you get on your knees and pray about it, and you meditate about it, and you just, you know, ask, you know, for forgiveness for yourself too, because in order to forgive somebody else, you got to forgive yourself.
That's right.
So I just feel like you definitely have to, get on your knees, meditate, pray, and just ask, the Most High, God, to just continue to help, clear your mind off of certain things, as far as forgiveness. Giving you the opportunity to clear your head, to get your thoughts right, so you can have that opportunity to forgive somebody. Mm-hmm. Also, I just feel like, in relationships, I don't really think people like today's relationships are harder now, because I just feel like with social media,
it's killing
it, because people really don't forgive people these days. They move on to the next person in their lives quick.
Yeah, because everything is so microwavable. It's quick, fast, and hurry. Yeah. Even relationships, everything is fast now.
What's up, Annette Waters? H2O. How you doing?
She still can't see me. Baby, you can't see me? That's weird. Maybe we need to switch sides.
Everybody can see me. So that's my take on, what we expect in relationships now. Nobody don't want to forgive nobody these days. Everybody want to be like, you know what? I'm done with this situation. I'm not going to forgive you. I'm moving this way. I'm moving this direction. Even in families, people will have a hard time forgiving people these days. And, people have these certain expectations of everybody else. And it's like, if we got certain expectations of everybody, we have to have the opportunity to look back at ourselves and, truly forgive ourselves, to move forward and just continue to grow as people. Because every day is you need to take a step in helping yourself grow, continue to read books, continue to evaluate yourself. Because if you evaluate yourself, you will know the proper steps on what's right and what's wrong, and how to forgive somebody, how to move forward. And you're educating yourself every day. You should try to be the best version of yourself each and every single day, and learn different things, and, gain some knowledge on forgiveness on so many different levels and topics.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I say this, and I add on to that. I think, experience is the best teacher. No matter if it's negative or positive. All these events are wisdom, So whatever happened in your life, learn to look at it in a different way, Try to not always look at whatever that trauma was as something negative. Look at it as some type of wisdom that's being placed upon you, and how to learn from it. Yeah. Because a lot of times people don't process that information, because it's all about how you process that actual trauma that happened to you. It's about how you process it. Most people don't know how to try to process different things that happen in their life. Once you learn to look at you getting divorced or whatever it is, and look at the lessons and the wisdom in that event, then you'll learn how to release it. But most people don't, because they're looking at it as life is happening to me, instead of you are actually being guided into the life that you're in. Life is not actually happening to you. A lot of times the energy that we put out is certain things we come right back to us, so we can learn from it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So try to look at that trauma in a way to learn from it, gain wisdom from it. That to me is how I learned how to forgive. And, because everything I look at is from a point of, okay, how can I learn from this? What did I do wrong, first of all? Or what did someone do wrong to me? And now how do I process what has happened? Because there's lessons in every single thing that you do in your life. There's lessons. There's wisdom in every single thing. That's all you have to do, is look at it in that light. You will release it all. Now, don't look at it negatively.
Yeah, I was gonna say, somebody asked, what if you forgive someone and they don't change their ways? You move on. That's forgiving yourself.
Well, you were speaking about forgiving yourself.
Well, at the end of the day, if you've forgiven someone and they haven't changed, again, it's for you to actually, receive that healing within yourself. Because that, if somebody don't receive it, that don't mean that they haven't received. They might don't receive it today, but they might receive it a week from now. They might receive it a month from now. Because let me tell you something. When you forgive somebody and you let it go, at that point in time, the burden is off of you. Mm-hmm. And you actually have an opportunity to continue to grow. You actually have that opportunity to be better. So if they haven't, let it go, that's on them. But eventually, you never know. They might come around and, come back later on. They might not come back for a couple of years. But at the end of the day, it makes you feel better that you forgave in someone. And you know what? You've done your part. And that's all you can do is do your part. Because at the end of the day, nobody at the end of the day is going to, sit up there and, nobody's never going to do what you expect them to do. No. So at the end of the day, as long as you do your part, that's all that counts. And as long as you know within your heart that you genuinely forgiven that person, that's all you can do. Is for, hey, move forward. But at the same time, you did your part. Yeah, if you've forgiven somebody, you're not under obligation.
No, definitely not. You're not under obligation at all, because that forgiveness is not for them at all. Really, it's not. So it's
all about you.
It's all about you.
We control our own happiness. We control that.
So don't worry about what they do, because once you apologize or once you've forgiven them, now the process of them learning of what
it's on them to learn. It's on them.
It's on them. Now, if they continue to do whatever they was doing to hurt you in the first place and you stay, then that's something that you definitely got to work through yourself too.
Yeah.
But if you forgive them,
move forward. And now it's on them. Everything falls on them now, because at the end of the day.
But that doesn't mean that you're going to forget.
Nah, you don't forget.
Because that doesn't happen. Everybody think, I forgave you. Why are you still bringing it up?
Nah.
People going to still bring up trauma that happened to them. The thing is how they respond to it. If they got past it, you will see a change in how they respond to whatever they start talking about it, because
they would accept you.
They
would accept that and
before they forgive you, before they just act irate, act crazy as hell. Then next thing you know, when the subject comes up again, they're calm. Then they've worked past it. They moved past it.
Yeah, they actually have. They're done with it.
They're done with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And at the end of the day, like I was saying earlier, like for myself, I read a lot of different books. I talk to people that kind of is on the same level as myself.
Sorry.
I talk to.
You know that. You know the damn truth. You know that.
I talk to my man right here, Calvin, quite a bit. We share a lot of information. We do our, we piggyback off of each other. So it's always good to have someone in your life that you can actually gain knowledge from. You can get wisdom from. You can ask questions and all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And definitely you have to continue to help yourself grow and educate yourself on a lot of different topics.
Got to.
Because, this whole topic of forgiveness, you still got to educate yourself. Mm-hmm. You still got to learn as a person how to forgive other people.
That's all it's about. It's the process. And that's the thing. That's why I keep harping on it, because people don't know how to forgive because they don't know how to process the information.
No.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah, they haven't even taken the time to learn how to process
exactly, because they keep looking at it from a negative point of view.
They look at it far as they're being, like we was talking about, weak.
Exactly.
Well, if I forgive this person, how everybody else gonna look at me now? Well, no, everybody gonna look at you as the bigger person at the end of the day.
Sometimes, because it depends on whoever's on the other side looking, because their ego could be speaking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's tricky, man. It's tricky.
And the thing is, especially these folks that are in marriages and stuff, I've I've talked to several older couples that's been married like 40, 50 years. And the number one thing they tell me when I ask them, I say, well, how do you guys stay married for so long?
Don't hold a grudge.
They say forgiving and forgetting.
Don't hold no grudge. Man.
Don't hold no grudge. Don't forgetting and forgiving and forgetting. Yeah. That's always been the key to their marriages, as far as being married for 40, 50 years. So you got to learn to just forgive and forget, man, and just move forward. And you don't have to always be right.
Yeah, and another thing, like most of us don't know that this is our first time on this planet. There's no guide to show you how to live everyday life. There is no guide. There's no blueprint. People are gonna make mistakes. You know what I mean? We're gonna mess up. That's what's gonna happen. We just have to learn to know, hey, there's gonna be mistakes. You're gonna get hurt. There's no way around it.
That's life.
It's life. You cannot dodge the bullet. You can't.
That's like you
just now have to learn how to process when those things happen.
Yes.
That's it. Expect them to happen. Not to say that, you
going out looking for trouble.
You go out looking for someone to hurt you. You just got to realize, hey,
that's in a person's nature. Now, from what I understood too, you got people that are basically, people going. You got people that's going to continue to make mistakes, but if they wicked when they made these mistakes, because that's just the human nature. When people make mistakes, people say things that just come off the tip of their tongue. That's why people is always saying be slow to speak, because sometimes we say what's on our mind and we're not even thinking that we're hurting the next person's feelings. So we definitely need to be slow to speak. We definitely need to just continue to grow and just learn to forgive. And I think this is where we're gonna sign off at for this evening.
Oh yeah.
But we just wanted to, definitely let everybody know about, a process of forgiving and forgetting. And when you let it go, you will feel the weight of the world off of your shoulders.
Every single time. You got to remember that, release all the negative energy and your life will be fulfilled.
That's good, Sunday. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, what she said?
She said when her and her husband get upset with each other, they get over it pretty quick.
Oh, another thing too, that's something me and my life mate does a lot. Meditate. Oh, meditate. Meditation is awesome. It really is. It definitely helps release a lot of the negative energy that you have in you too. So you guys start doing that as well. And every Saturday we're gonna do it at what time you want to start?
We're gonna start moving forward on Saturdays at 7
o'clock. That's what we decided.
7 p.m.
Remember, the name of the
Eastern
show
Standard
is
Time.
The Ugly Damn Truth. All right.
We're signing off. Thank you guys for checking us out. And if you guys have any kind of ideas, let us know. If you guys want us to talk about a particular subject or a topic, let us know. And we'll get into detail about it. So let's do this thing.
Louis, boya. Yes.
All right. Thank you guys.